What's up, everybody? It's been a while since we've done a late night stream, but I was feeling it tonight, and I just got a bunch of stuff done for the SV06. I spent most of my time working on these two designs today. So I'm going to show you these really quick, and these are already on our website. I'm going to actually be taking photos for these for the documentation center, this being one of them. This weird looking part here is actually what's going to let us mount our EZNeo pixels into the Sovol SV06. This little printed part you can put in here. This is on our site for download right now. And because this printer does not have 2020 extrusion, this piece fits into here, and there's a specific way it goes. So I'm going to actually take pictures of this to put on the Help Center page, because right now it says pictures coming soon, because I'm taking them right now on this stream. So this printer is going to be what is going to be replacing Krista's Ender 2 Pro. She wants something a little bit bigger, so I'm getting this all fitted out for her. But yeah, so we have the adapter here for the EZNeo strips. So we're just going to need two of these. You can see here I got it so it locks in. We got some little wedges here to kind of keep it in place, and then a little tapered screw hole here for the actual EZNeo strip to be screwed into this part. Now the other one is I actually made what I said we were talking about, which is the filament sensor mount. So this is the mount that I did for the EZOut sensor. And this mount comes with the kit if you buy the full kit. And then we also put this STL on the site for like $5. So basically this will go up top right underneath the spool mount, so we can just slap the sensor on there. And I already have these parts all pre-printed. I did them in a coax ice amethyst, since Krista's favorite color is purple, and it's a really nice color. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get the EZNeo sensor mounted up onto the... What are you doing? You need to lay down. You were just OUT. Go lay down. Friggin' puppy. Lay down. Yeah. So we're going to get the top put back on it. I actually took this off so I could take measurements easier. I'm going to show you guys how those little adapters fit in here for the EZNeo strips. We're going to bolt it up to here and then put it all together. And then we're going to get the spool holder on. And I noticed in some of Sovol's pictures, they have, so this is the front of the machine here. You can tell by the little nubs here. They have it so it looks like the flat part is facing forward, but in the installation guide, they actually show it this way. So this is how it's meant to go with our filament sensor mount. Because it's actually going to sit right here on this face with the existing screws. And then we're going to use two M3x20 screws to screw the sensor to the adapter. Now, you don't have to mount the sensor. You could just put it up there, you know, put a zip tie on the cable. But I want something a little more elaborate and pretty. So, anyways, let me check messages really quick. Yeah, anyways, we're going to jump into this. I don't know what you're talking about, Chris, with Teams, but anyways, I'm going to jump into this because after this, I'm going to sleep. I got myself a nice cold zombie dust here. I don't know if my buddy Tyler's watching, but Tyler, when you come in a couple weeks, we're going to drink quite a few of these. All right. So now, if you guys haven't been on these streams, this is a very casual thing. We're just going to hang out. Basically, I'd be doing this off camera, so I turn my cameras on, we hang out, and, you know, play with printers. That's, we used to do these quite a bit, and this is how I, you know, kind of force myself to get projects done, is just do a stream, because then we get some video content so people can see what's going on here. So, anyways, the first thing I'm going to do here is we're going to get the top plate set up with the EZNeos. Now, obviously, you can put this on. You can put this together without having it off the printer, but I am going to take pictures so people see how it goes. I've got the two parts printed here, and you can see here, this is the coax ice amethyst, and this does not come through very well on camera. Like in person, it's like a purple with kind of like a gunmetal sheen to it, and it changes as you turn it. So... but it's really easy to put these in. So you got the little offset hole here. The offset holes go towards the center, and we're going to put in the third hole from the end. So this one will go right here, and this is all friction fit, so you just push this in. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side with the hole on the further side this direction. So we're going to want to put it on this way, not this way. So these are lined up perfectly. So the EZNeo strip bolts in here. So let me take a picture really quick of this because this is going to go on the help center. So that way if somebody doesn't catch this stream, they'll know how to use these adapters. So just going to take a little photo here. There we go. We get a little close up. There we go. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the EZNeo strip, and we do include M3 screws and T-nuts. We're not going to use the T-nuts, just 2 of the M3 screws and the included Allen key. We do have here little cable management things. I don't think we're going to use this on this printer because it's got the rollers on here. We're just going to manage the cable going right into the box. But we do include some cable covers for those of you guys putting these printers, putting these on other printers that have extrusion. But these are nice. We also sell 1 meter lengths of this cover on our site for a couple bucks, as well as 5-packs. So there we go. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. Brand new. All right. Now I'm going to want to have my cable coming out on the left, so we can tell this is the front of the piece because it's got the little stops here. This is where it bumps up to align the Z. You can see on the back they don't have them. So I want to have the connector on this side. I'm going to put that right here, and you can see that, oh, look at that. Those holes line up so nice. It's almost like I spent all day playing with this to get the perfect fitment. So I'm going to grab 2 of the M3 screws out of here from the package that came with it. And as much as I appreciate that we include a little Allen key, I like using my regular screwdriver. So I'm going to get my TH3D screwdriver set here and use this. Look how worn this is. I've been using this for a couple years now. It's great. All right. I'm not worried about these falling out. They're hard to get out. Like, you can get them out, but you got to pry them out. So I'm going to go ahead and put the one screw in here. And then I'm just going to leave this a little bit loose because there's some play to the hole. And then we're going to put the second one in over here. Look how nice this is going in. All right. And these just thread in right into the plastic. I mean, the EZNeo doesn't weigh that much, so there we go. We're going to tighten that down. Oh, that bites in real nice. And there we go. So now we got the EZNeo strip in the top here. Like, you can almost not tell it's there. All right. So we're going to put this on back. We're going to switch the view up here. I don't know why my camera, I just cleaned this lens, but apparently I didn't do a good job of it. Let me grab one of my Kimtech wipes here, because apparently, I did clean my cable, by the way, for this camera, so hopefully it doesn't disconnect. All right. It's still like fuzzy. I don't know why. Maybe my sensor's dirty. All right, whatever. We'll just move this auxiliary light out of the way. And now we're going to put the top back on. Again, you don't have to take this off. I just did this because I was taking measurements all day with this. Make sure that things just fit nicely. All right, so we're going to put that on there. I got the screws here, or the bolts in here. Get the rod locked back in. Go ahead and tighten this down. Oh, that is not the right size one. Oh, here we go. I was like, I know I had my bond house around here. All right, let me get the other side on. Now we're going to get the spool holder installed. All right, there we go. So the spool holder is really simple. So if you don't have your spool on, you can take it off. And I measured everything. So the factory screws, you see that says TH3D there? This should be right side up when you're putting it, you're looking at the front of the printer. So it's kind of hidden back there. And I dropped it. I guess I'm a wannabe Linus. Am I going to sell IGUS bushings? No, I'm not. Because you know what? I did that on my ANET. And honestly, I feel like it caused more problems than it solved. All right, so this goes on like this. You put this in here. And again, I'm going to take a picture of this for the product page. There we go. You can see we got plenty of thread coming through. And then just screw this back on. And then I'm going to take two M3 by 20 millimeter bolts. And we're going to put these through the sensor here. There we go. And these will thread right into the part. And it's going to put the sensor at a nice little angle here. So the filament goes right down into it and then down to the hot end. And one little trick I learned when you're doing screw holes that the screws are threaded into plastic, you do a little like 0.5 degree chamfer at the opening, and it just guides the screw in nicely so you're not having to fight with it or it walks on you. It may not seem like much, but it makes the experience a lot better. Look how nice that is. All right. Photo time. Because we want people to know how it's going to look if they mount it all up to their printer. All right, let's see. There we go. Bam. All right. So now it's time to get all this hooked up. I'm going to go around to the back here, and we're going to have two wires. And make sure you don't confuse the EZOut and the EZNeo wires because they are the same colors. The difference are the EZNeo wires, they're a little bit thinner and they're not put together. So here's my EZOut sensor wire. I'm just going to plug that into the sensor here. And then I'm going to route this over here. And I'm just going to want to come down the back here. So I'm going to grab some zip ties and secure this to the back. And we got our EZNeo wire here. Now, the thing with these are you cannot run these neopixels on the stock board because they decided to use the knockoff processor. You guys watched the video I just released earlier today. We go over that's one of the drawbacks. You can't run neopixels with those maple libraries that the clones have to use. And even trying to make it run STM32 code, it still doesn't work. So if you want to use EZNeos, you're going to have to change this out to an easy board. I don't have plans to do firmware for the Creality board for this. Because I don't think the Creality board is going to be much of an upgrade over stock. So I don't see too many people switching to it. Like the only benefit would be is you're getting rid of the only benefit you'd be getting rid of the clone processor. But the stock board actually has more features than the 427. So, but all right, I'm just going to take a little zip tie here. I'm all about doing some cable management. And you can see here, I'm just using a small one, so I doubled up. I don't have super long, small zip ties. So we're just doubling it up. They're like just too short. But good enough to hold it there. Keep the wires out of the way. And then these just need to come down into the little opening here. That's it. They just got to come down in here. So I'm probably going to see if I can like loop it behind here maybe. Because I'm anal about my cable management a lot, so I don't like seeing a lot of the wires. And I'm also going to have the EZABL, so maybe I'll switch over here and do the EZABL next because we do got to get rid of this stock sensor because I don't want Krista dealing with it because this is going to go to her. This will be her baby, since I'm done having my way with it. So we're going to switch out the sensor right now. These extrusions are not open on the back. They're flat like the front, so you actually can't hide cables in them. And oh wait, I am so used to using V-slots or V-slot rollers. I'm so used to using V-slot rollers. I assumed that there was going to be a wheel traveling in here. There's not. There's not going to be a wheel traveling here because this is using the linear one. So I actually can hide the wires right in here. Holy crap. That's how used to having, V-roller wheels I'm used to. Is I completely just assume that this printer has. So I'm actually going to go underneath with the wire since I got the length. I'm actually going to go all the way down. Let me put the screw in here to close this. I totally forgot that this one, because it uses rods, where I don't have to worry about things being in the extrusion. I'm just so used to dealing with the Ender 3 style machines that I forgot about that. Yes, so we can actually use the cord hiders. So we're going to hide the cords right in this channel here, and we're going to use the EZNeo covers here. And then we're going to have these cables go into the bottom. This will also use up some of the length of the cable. All right. So I'm going to try to keep the camera in view. As best I can. All right. So we're going to put those in there. I'm going to put the cord hider down there. And like I said, if you guys like this stuff, we do sell this exact same stuff that comes with the EZNeos in the store. Oh, look how nice that is. And I've got one more here. I think I also have a meter of it floating around here from when I took product photos. But I think this is all we're going to need. Oh, I literally thought, I literally thought that there were going to be V-slot wheels going in here because I'm so used to dealing with Ender 3 style machines. I forgot that this uses the linear rods. So that works out. Look at how nice. Oh my God. It's almost going to be like it's factory. Look at how nice that hit in there. I mean, yeah, you have that on the back, but that's on the back of the printer. Who cares? It's like the back. It's like the other side of your computer case. No one has to know what goes on back there. Just don't look, okay? That's between you and God. All right? Comet, go lay down. You're not going back up. Hang on. Comet, lay down. Lay down. You're not going back OUT. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and route these up into here. So these are just going to come down and go right up in with these other wires. I can't really get in here, but I'm going to put them in here. I'm going to come up in here and coil up the extra wire. So I can't really give you guys a view of that without like making it a huge pain in the ass for me. So I'm just going to do it, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I am going to cut one of these zip ties here. All right. No, I'm not going to cut one. I'm going to put one. I'll just put another zip tie in. I think I can do that. I am running out of zip ties in my random zip tie drawer. I lied. I am going to cut this one that it comes with. I'll put a new one in. Come around. All right. All right, so say we're going to have these come up in here. I'm just going to take the extra wire and just kind of wrap it up. All right. I should have grabbed a zip tie before I did this. I like to do cable management. I don't like cables being everywhere. Basically, when I'm done with this, I want it to look like this printer came with all these add-ons I put on it. That's the goal. Now, since we're using our Easy board, it's just one connection to the board. You just literally plug it right in. So if we look here, you can see right here, it's literally just plug it into the board. This board has a built-in 5-volt regulator, so that's the neopixel header. We're going to be disconnecting this, because this is for the stock ABL sensor. We did that in a previous video. And then here's our filament sensor here. I got to make sure I get the red wire on the bottom pin here. So here's a filament sensor cable. I'm going to connect that to the 3-pin header, just like that. So there we go. My neopixels and my sensor are hooked up. And you can see there, it's all neatly tucked in there. All right. Now, to get rid of the stock ABL sensor, we're going to disconnect the, we're going to disconnect this guy here. This is the adapter I put on for the stream when we did the Easy board swap. I'm half torn between just snipping that off because I'm probably never going to hook this sensor up to it again. So we're just going to disconnect that for now. I think I'm going to go out the bottom with the, I think I'm going to go out the bottom with the ABL sensor. So I'm going to zip tie this back up here. How many of you guys watching caught the video I posted today about the GD32 chips and like what to look out for, tips and tricks for flashing, what their shortcomings are? How many of you guys actually watched that? I'm just curious. Sometimes I feel like I'm shouting into the void of Printerland. I don't know who actually watches all my stuff yet. All right. So there we go. So the neopixels are hooked up here. The filament sensor is hooked up here. I got the extra wire tucked in here. So you can see, look how nice that is. Like, aside from these not being sleeved, you can probably have a hard time telling that this is not factory. And it's out of the way of the bed, so I don't have to worry about that. Now we got to get this this little doohickey off here that they call bed leveling sensor. We're going to give them a real bed leveling sensor. I'll tell you what. We're going to put a real sensor on here. None of this Chinesium. We only put the premium Chinesium on our printers. All right, so we take this screw out here from the top of the mount. I'm going to show you guys how to put the sensor on here. So we're going to take the screw out. You see how the probe drops down? I'm going to go ahead and unplug the stock probe. You just pull it straight down. You see that? All right. Sensor comes out. There's the stock sensor. And then we got 2 screws. You see how 2 screws there? We're going to take these out, and this is how we're going to put our EZABL mount in. So when I design stuff, I try to reuse as many screws as possible so you guys aren't having to buy new screws. So, because trying to include screws with like the ABL kits is like a nightmare. All right, so I was originally going to do this in ABS, but she's not going to be putting this in enclosure, so I did a custom print here of our SV06 bracket in that same iced amethyst. And then we just literally screw this on where the stock one went, and these screws will fit right in here. And it's funny because even though we're putting a physically larger probe on here, it doesn't take up much space compared to the OEM one because of how bulky their mount was. All right. Now we're going to be putting our new EZABL Pro T sensor, and the T stands for top mount. And I also just realized, oh, I was like, I think I might have been missing a nut, but I found it. So the EZNeo Pro T sensor, we call it the T because it's got a top adjustment. So our regular Pro, it's on the side. This is a newer model that we're working on right now. It is available. We're eventually, I think, going to switch over to just these, but it's a preference thing right now. So we have both versions. This one's a couple bucks more than the other one. But anyways, they all do the same thing. They all do bed level. So we're going to put this on here and want to make sure that this is 2 millimeters higher than the nozzle. And then we're going to calibrate this 2 millimeters off the bed. Now, one thing I did have the company that's making these for us do is they're supposed to be pre-calibrating them for around a 4 to 5 millimeter trigger distance when they're doing their testing. So hopefully that'll help make adjusting and calibrating things a little bit quicker for everybody. But we still recommend you test them. So I got to get the nozzle or filament off the nozzle. There's some filament stuck to the nozzle here. All right. And then what I like to do is take these little wrenches, because these are about 2 millimeters. And I'm going to come down and, before I forget to put the bottom nut on, we're going to put that on here. And then I'm going to set the nozzle on the bed and rest the probe on the wrench. Okay, so the nozzle's on the bed, and the probe needs to be resting on the wrench. So I'm going to loosen this one up a little bit. There we go. We're sitting down on there. That's a little too high. There we go. Just got to get it close. It doesn't have to be exact. So we're going to tighten this up here. Just making sure the puppy's not doing anything bad, because I do not fully trust him yet. And we just want to get these hand tight. So there we go. The probe's all nice on there. And now we're going to route the cable. Now, if you guys watched that video I posted a couple days ago, just doing a quick rundown, you're going to see what I'm doing with the cable management. And I'm just going to take some zip ties, and we do include zip ties with the EZABL. These are the same ones we use. I snagged a bag of them for my office here. And we're just going to come up the cable here. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on my Ender 3 Pro. So I'm going to still leave a little slack here for strain relief, okay? And this has got to go in the back here for the actual cable. You see that? That locks back there. And I'm just going to leave a little slack here, and then we're going to zip tie this to the ribbon cable and use the ribbon cable to guide our EZABL cable. All right. And you don't want to do it super tight. We're just using this to hold it and guide it, because obviously this is a ribbon cable. If you tighten it up too much, it's not good for the cable, because then it's going to pinch it. So we just want to have this like basically laying on top of here, being held in place. And this is how I have it on my Ender 3 S1. I've had that on there since, God, I did the video on that. This one I tightened up a little too much, so I'm just going to snip that, redo it. And it's been working fine. We just want to keep the cables together. That's all we're doing. If that makes sense. Just keeping the cables together. Like one big happy cable family. All right, so I still got some slack here. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, it's hard for me to get the angles on this because of how this printer is laid out, but I'm going to try my best, damn it. All right. And I think I am, can I fit our ABL cable in here? I'm going to see, just do a test fit here. I think I can fit it in through with the ribbon cable. I can. It looks like I can fit it in there. All right, so let's cut the zip tie again. I think it's like the 4th time I've changed that zip tie out. But hey, we got the length on the wire, so No issues with length here in that department. Got plenty of length on our EZABL cable. Okay, we're not a BL Touch. We don't give you like 6 inches of cable and wish you the best of luck, okay? We give you plenty of length to work with. We're not stingy with our cables. You know, don't make you buy extensions, okay? Nobody likes extensions, okay? They just like one nice long cable. All right. What is Tessa tape? I've never heard of Tessa tape. Is this something I'm going to find and then like love it and have to buy a bunch of it? All right. I am almost done now with the ABL. All I have to do is get power to the ABL box, which I have my ABL control box. So I got a brand new one here. Brand new one with the power wire. And I think I'm going to stash, I think I'm going to stash the power wire for the ABL control box in the back here. Now, I just realized I could probably get away with actually stashing the EZABL control box right down here. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? Right down here on the extrusion. And we just so happen to have some T-nuts and M3 bolts left over from our EZNeo kit. So I'm going to use those to mount the EZABL box up. And I'm sure most of you guys probably have a billion cables laying around at this point. Or screws, I should say. All right. So we need power. So here's our power wire. This is going to go into the fan port here on the control board. Now, if you're using the stock control board, you can use the EZABL with the stock control board. It's just going to go into... Oh, sorry about the shakiness. It's going to go into this first port here, where the fan goes in, because this is an always-on connection. So that's where we're going to pull power for the EZABL. The EZABL does not pull much power at all, so we can go ahead and piggyback off that. So this is actually a 2-conductor cable. So if you look inside here, there's 2 wires. So I'm going to snip back the insulation. And get those 2 wires out of here. There we go. And then I'm going to strip these ends here. Just gentle pressure. There we go. And I did a little too much. I'm going to snip these just a little bit shorter. And where did my screwdriver go? It's underneath the printer. That's a great place for it. Ah! All right, again, tight quarters, so I'm not going to be able to get in here and show you guys me putting the cable in, but I'm just putting the red wire into the positive screw terminal, which is the bottom one, and the black wire into the negative one, which is the one right above it. So I'll show you guys once I get it hooked up. Luckily, we do give you solid core wire, so it's a little easier to work with. And I just want to make sure this all bites down the wire and the crimp ferrules that are in there already. All right. Come on. Okay. Just give it a little tug, make sure it doesn't come out. All right. So we look here, you can see I got the wire in there. It's going into that bottom terminal there. Do you guys see that? The autofocus will focus on the right thing. I could probably push that fan header in a little bit more. Let me see if I can do that. I will say this control box is pretty cramped to work in. But There we go. These are pretty long ferrules though. And to be honest, neither of these are carrying a lot of current, so I'm not that worried about it. All right, tighten that down. Make sure that doesn't come out. All right. So there we go. We got our power for our EZABL. We just need the Z stop, and then we can mount the box and update the firmware, and we're basically done. It's almost like we try to make things easy. Where did I put the cable? Oh yeah. So this printer, even with the stock board, you need this signal cable. So this 2-pin end, there's a 2-pin end, and there's a 3-pin end. The 2-pin goes to your Z end stop. So there we go. And now we just need to run this to the control box, the EZABL control box. So I'm going to figure out how the hell I'm going to position this thing here, because I want to have it like at the bottom here, kind of tucked away, if that makes sense. Let me raise my Z gantry up. It's only going to take like an hour. Just print it. I could print a bigger box, but like, where's the fun in that? That is way too much work. Come on, work smarter, not harder. All right. That should be high enough. There we go. Okay, so basically what I want to do is come down here, and I want to put my ABL box down here, kind of hide it from everything, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to follow the power wire that comes from the power supply here. And I'm going to want to put the extra wire in the, I'm trying to see where, I'm always good at hiding wires. I think I can actually hide some of the extra wire in this cover down here. Yeah, I can. There's some space in here. I can also just tie it up here. So we'll figure out how to do cable management. I do take cable management fairly seriously. So, come on, go lay down. Stop sniffing around. I feel like he's getting ready to piddle. All right, so here's our EZABL control box. It looks like I will be able to fit it down here. It is going to be a tighter fit. I think I can move this cable clamp here on the left. So this cable clamp here, I think I move this over just a little bit and get some more range here, but we can get creative. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just stick it to the side of the printer on the other side. I just like having all my stuff neat and tidy and cable managed. So, I don't know. I take pride in what I do. All right, so I want the extra wire here, though, for the sensor cable. I want the extra wire to be up in the, what's the word I'm looking for? Up in the control box here. So we're coming down into the control box and then right out, we're just passing through. But we can also use this to kind of hide the extra cables. So I can just kind of let this lay in here and take off some of the slack so I don't have extra cable down below. So as long as the wires aren't hitting the fan, we'll be good. All right. So just bear with me while I fumble with this and figure out how I'm going to go about doing this. So I know I'm going to use the T-nuts, which I just dropped my damn screw in here. How do you guys like fiddle around with things for like way too long, trying to like position things perfectly? I don't know, maybe it's just me. All right. So now I want to be able to get to the control box. So I'm going to have this mounted this direction here. So I want to be able to actually get to the inside of the control box. So the lid only goes on one way. So I got the opening for the lid right here. My power is going to come in right here, so I know I can cut this right about here. And this is obviously stripping a wire, so I can cut that wherever. The control box, or the Z cable, is going to go here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this, and then I'll be able to figure out how much slack I need to put in the control box for the sensor wire and the Z stuff. So let me strip this. I'm going to get these wires inserted into the control board here. All right. Let me zoom in here so you guys see what I'm doing. All right, so I got the wires stripped here. We got our red and our black, positive being red, black being negative. Derek, you have a good night, sir. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to grab a little flathead from my bit set here. How many times is Tim going to wonder where the screwdriver is in one stream? I have no idea. All right, so on the EZABL control board, we do label which is positive, negative. You see plus, minus. So red goes into this one, black goes into that one. We're just going to back these out a little bit. And we're going to put the red into plus, black into minus. And I'm regretting having the dogs in here because they're now being loud. They were laying down and not doing much when I started the stream. So I was like, you guys can stay. You're being good, quiet boys. Go lay down. You're not going back OUT. They were just OUT before the stream. So now I'm tightening these screws down for the power wires. And these are really small screw terminals. Do not hulk them down. All right, so I got my three cables, my power, my signal, and then my sensor itself. So this can be screwed down. Rima, I know you don't need to go OUT. Go lay down. You pain in the butt. All right, so I'm going to use these screw holes here at the very bottom. So I'm going to put the M3s that came with my EZNeos through. And the T-nuts. Get those started on there. Just so happens I got 2 screws and 4 T-nuts left. I'm going to disconnect the sensor cable just for now because it's going to make it easier to mount this up, and then I'll plug it back in. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and spin the T-nuts so they lock in. And I'm going to double check to make sure that the bed's not going to hit this when it moves all the way back. Because it looks like it'll clear, but I want to be sure. All right. This one's a little hard to get to. Maybe if it didn't have big old sausage fingers, it'd be easier, but... All right, let's see. Does the bed hit it? No, we're good. All right. So I'm going to have the sensor wire come over the top here. Actually, no, I'm going to have it come over the bottom just so it doesn't hit anything. Because I just realized if I had it up top, it could potentially hit the bed. We want to have all the wires coming down. And then we want to have this here. And we're just going to do some cable management now. And make this all purty. Got some purty cables there, boy. There's like not much. Are these just stuck on here? Can I move these? Are these double stick taped on here? These sure are. And I'm gonna go this direction with those. Because I don't want the printer sitting on these other cables and rocking. Because that is a thing. There's also like a tab here that holds the cables. Which it is holding those, but it's not holding the power wires. See if I can get those under there. Yeah, there's not much room left there, so I'm going to have this go up with the other wires. All right, so I want to have this snake around. All right. I'm just very particular about my cable routing, so don't mind me being super anal about this, but I'm only doing it once. I could have been done already if I just, you know, put it together instead of being anal about every little thing on it. But where's the fun in that? It's gotta be perfect, damn it, especially since this is going to my fiance. I can't have her running some printer where, you know, what if she's at Murph and some guy's like, man, your cable management is atrocious. And she's like, yeah, my fiance built it for me. He's going to think I don't care about her if my cables are not managed on her printer build. We can't have that now, can we? No, sir. Gotta have cable management. We gotta have upgrades, okay? My girl don't run no stock printers. All right, so see what I'm doing here? Oh, maybe you can't. I'm just tucking the cables in. It's actually coming out pretty nice. Just tucking the extra cable up in here. I'm gonna move the Z stop over to that other side with the sensor wire. I'll show you guys everything after I'm done, so just bear with me. It's hard to actually do the work and show it on camera at the same time, especially when it's just me. Well, me and the dogs, but the dogs are terrible camera workers, okay? I'll tell you what. All right, almost done here, and then I'll show you the end result. Hey. Will you two knock it off? One of them just body slammed the other one into the garage door. Hey, crap. You guys are nuts. I'm actually not going to put a tough extruder on here because this does come with a pretty decent extruder and it's like proprietary, so good luck with that. This will probably keep the stock extruder for a bit. But it's a good extruder. Alright. So, I've got all my connections made. I'm just pushing my wires in here. Alright. So there you go. I got all the extra wire tucked up in here. Now, luckily, the fan blows towards the support, so we should be good to close this. And one thing I do is I'll just take my, little screwdriver and make sure there's nothing hitting it. And nothing's hitting the fan, so we're good there. I'm going to move this down just in case it does decide to move later on. Like I said, we're just going to hide the extra cables in here. And I'm not worried about the board running hot. Our board can take warmer climates, no problem. All right, so I'm going to make sure I'm not having any cables pinched. We got all the connections in here done. The only thing we might have to do is flip the little switch on the bottom of the EZABL control board, which is why I did not put the lid back on it yet. But at that point, all our hardware is done, so I'm just putting this all back in. I'm going to close this up. Now look at that. Like, that's pretty nice and clean, if I do say so myself. So we got our sensor wire EZABL right here. Okay, and all the slacks up in there. You got a power wire for the EZABL here. It kind of bothers me. I could have moved that on the other side, but whatever. It's good. Nothing's hitting. We're ready to update the firmware now. I am going to turn it on and just make sure everything powers up. All right, so I'm touching the EZABL sensor. You can see the sensor lights up. And does the control board light turn on? Yes, it does. So now we're ready to update the firmware. So I'm going to go to my computer here. And we're going to start the firmware. So I'm going to grab a copy. Well, I don't download from our website because I've got everything on my GitHub here. But I'm going to go ahead and let me generate a new folder for her printer here. So give me 1 second. Let me get this opened up. Corporate accounts receivable, please. Please hold just a moment. What movie is that from? Corporate accounts receivable, please hold just a moment. No one? Bueller? Bueller? Anybody? What movie is that from? Come on, nerds. Nope, not Clerks. Come on. All right. So we tell it we have a Sovol SV06. We tell it we've got an EZOut V2. We tell it we've got the SV Office Space. Casey, ding, ding, ding. You're the winner. Krista, get his email and send that man a $10 gift card. I'm serious. Casey, my man. All right. So I'm telling it what I have. So I got the EZOut V2. So that's our filament sensor. Casey, send us an email. I'm going to send you a $10 gift card for getting that right. Send us an email. Krista, assign that to me in the ticket system. All right. Yeah, there you go. Or just email Krista. There you go. Email Krista. All right. So I'm telling it I have the EZABL SV06. I tell it I have the EZOut V2, right? I'm going to tell it I also have an EZABL installed, okay, for the SV06. I'm going to tell it I have the EZNeo 220, okay? I can't remember if P8 is automatically defined, so I'm just going to uncomment it. So there we go. Neopixels. I think that's it. Neopixel, EZOut, EZABL. I am going to run super fast probing because we got EZABL. It'll handle super fast probing. And then I'm going to set this like 25 for the pro badge on this one. And I think that's it. I don't think I'm going to need anything else. I am going to tell it, though, it is a direct drive printer. Oh, wait, no, I already have that in the config. I don't need that. Do I? Hang on, let me double check. I can't remember. For the filament sensor settings. I think I did. Yeah, I did. It's down here. All right. So that's it. All right. Oh, custom printer name. We're going to call this, she said, there, Sigma V1. How's that? All right. And I doubt she's going to play with input shaping, so we're just going to leave that off. And that's about it. I think we need anything else. All right, let's go ahead and compile this. Now, if you guys did not want to do this on your computer, you could actually, and I should have really done this. Here, I'll show you here. Let's see what does it quicker. So we actually have a website that does all this. So I could actually have done this all on here instead of doing it on my computer. I forgot about this because I'm just used to working in I'm used to working in the in VS Code so often, and I just realized Unified 262 is not on here. So I need to SSH into my. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to SSH in. I realized I did not tell Easy Firmware to update after I did a firmware release. Give me 1 second. I need to SSH in and tell it to do a pull from GitHub here and then update its services. I just realized that. I must have forgot that when I did the release the other day. All right, update firmware. It's pulling. Restarting. There we go. We're on 262. All right, so if I switch back over here, you'll see we're on 262. So anyways, you can upload the config file, so I could actually upload the one I just edited. Or if we go to Online Editor, hit V2, now I should see the SV06. Yeah, so I could actually just do all that on here and compile it on the web without having to use VS Code. I just use VS Code all the time because that's what I work in a lot. It's already on my computer. But that is a big value add, I think, with our boards, is that you don't have to use VS Code. It's so much easier to just use the website. But we're going to use VS Code for tonight, so I'm going to get rid of the old firmware on here. This is when I was using testing out those GD boards. I'm going to copy my firmware.bin here over to the SD card. All right. And now let's go ahead and update the firmware here. Why I put V1 and V2? Because that way I know what firmware version it is. All right, so I got the firmware on this random SD card I have. Now, I like to live dangerously, and since I've done this a million times, I'm actually going to test, since the Z is up, I'm actually going to test to see if the wiring is correct for the sensor, because if it doesn't stop when I touch the sensor, after the firmware is updated, I'm going to flip the little switch that's on the EZABL control board, and then it'll be good. So I'm waiting for the board to update. There we go. Do you see the lights come on? Do you guys see the EZNeos come on? Hang on, Lee. Here, just so you guys can see. Look how bright this is. It's very dark in the room right now, but look how bright these lights are. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? They're so nice. All right. So I'm going to clear my EEPROM really quick. And I'm going to tell it to auto home. So it's doing X, Y, and then it'll do Z. We'll see if I got this right on the first try. Oh, do you guys see that? Got it right on the first try. So I do believe, I'm going to see here. I'm going to stop it just in case. I'm going to see if we need to calibrate the sensor. So we're going to bring this down. I'm just putting this under here just as some extra guidance, because I'm going to calibrate the sensor here. Okay. Let's see where we're triggering at. So basically, we want this light to come on when the nozzle is 2 millimeters off the bed. So I'm going to go ahead and auto home it. Or not auto home it, preheat it. Because we want to do everything while it's hot. I'm also going to, while I'm waiting for that to heat, I'm going to go ahead and do an auto Z line. So we do have EZFlex that fit this, but this does come with a similar sheet. So we're just going to roll with that for now. Or actually, I probably will, because you're probably going to shoot videos with it, and I should probably have our products on there. You can see there, the carriage clears the EZNeos, no problem. And then if I put the, I'm going to put a little piece of, what's it called? I'm just testing the filament sensor. I just realized you can't see the LED on the filament sensor from this side. But I can see it between the gaps, so whatever. The LED really doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and calibrate the sensor here. It looks pretty close. Like I said, I did have the company that's doing these for us. I requested that they, pre-calibrate things, just as kind of a little thing to make it easier for everybody. So, but I'm going to bring it down here in 0.1 millimeter increments, and we're going to calibrate this. So I'm basically going to put the nozzle on the bed. And then I'm going to bring it up 2 millimeters, because remember, the sensor's 2 millimeters higher than the nozzle. So that's pretty close. They did actually a really good job of calibrating it. So I'm going to turn this counterclockwise to turn it off. You see the light goes off, and we're going to turn it clockwise slow until it turns on. I usually just go back a little bit. I'm going really slow here. All right. So now the light stays on. You see there the light's on. That's where I want it to be. At this point, I'm ready to print. We're done with the upgrades. So the lights are working. You see here, the lights are all working. The sensor's working. Our filament sensor's all hooked up. It's pretty easy. Like, if I wasn't recording this, I probably could have done this in a lot quicker time. I do need to put the lid back on the control box down there. Let's just see it do let's see it do a G29 here. You saw a fan duct. I'm not doing the fan duct tonight because I realized I don't have the actual fan in here. I did print the fan duct that we talked about, so I think that'll be the last short stream. I printed this up in ABS. I also am printing it up on my Ender 3S1 in this same coax filament, but I don't think it's going to hold up in PLA. So I'm probably going to have to stick with ABS. So boring ABS parts. But all right, finish the G29, no problem. Yeah, I just want to do one quick test here with the M48. What do we get? 0.003 millimeters. That's excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bore you guys with the print. The install went great. Everything's all on here. The last thing I'm going to do is, and we'll do this another time because it's 2:30 right now. So what is that? That's not bad. I've been streaming for about an hour. I got a lot done in an hour. I thought it was going for longer. But, yeah. So we got the neopixels on here. We've got the EZABL on here. The filament sensor all mounted up. The last thing to do will be upgrade the cooling fan, so we're going to do another stream on that. I don't know when just yet. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of tease this. But here you can see how bright these are. There's not much light in the room, but I do have good cameras. But you can see here it'll cycle through the RGB when it turns on. There we go. And then it turns a white color. So yeah, I think once we do the fan duct, I'll be pretty happy with this and hand this off to Krista after I do some test prints. But there we go. So we got our EZABL. This is the Pro T sensor. So we have 3 different sensors. We've got an 8mm, which is the micro, and we have 2 different 18mm. The Pro T is a newer revision with the top adjustment. And then the other one, which is our EZABL Pro, which we've been selling for a bit, that one's got the adjustment on the side. They both do the same thing. It's just a different style of sensor. So how do I change the color? So actually, if you go on the LCD, or on the LCD here, you can go to, and I'm just going to turn this on so it washes out the screen a little bit, or makes the screen not as washed out. You can actually go here and you see there's a menu item called EZNeo. You can click here, and then you can turn them on and off right from here. And then you can do different presets. So we've got, straight white. The default color is actually it's actually our TH3D blue converted to RGB, but you can do different colors. Just change it right from the screen here. You can send a G-code commands as well. Those work just fine. And again, you cannot use, that actually matches this. That actually matches the Sovol color quite nicely, the indigo. Look at that. You actually cannot use these lights on the stock board because they decided to use a knockoff processor. If Sovol didn't cheap out and didn't use a knockoff processor, you could run these LEDs on there. But you will have to switch it out to our EZBoard V2 to use this. There's other boards you could probably get working in this printer, but that's the one we officially support if you want to stick in our ecosystem and not have to, be hunting around on forums and pulling your hair out trying to get things to work. So, yeah. So basically you can do it. You can also do custom color here. So you got your RG and B channels and then the brightness. So this will dim. It's actually dimming the lights right now. I can see it in person. You guys might be able to see it, but this is the actual brightness, the overall brightness. And then you have individual RG and B channels here. So you see this, it's going to green now because I'm turning the blue channel down. And so it's just full green right now. There we go. So there we go. Green shut off, and I can go back up here, turn the red on. But you can also send G-code commands to control these. So they're fully controllable. And the cool thing is, when you actually start a print, they act as a progress bar. So they'll actually, change colors like a progress bar from left to right, indicating the status of where it is preheating. You can see here, I have them on my other printers. You guys see the S1 back there printing? That's got them. That's got them. My Ziltek's got them. Bertha's the only one that doesn't have them because I built Bertha before I even had these. But my Ender 6 has them. My Ender 5 Plus has 2 of them on there. And then my AMA just has some white strips that have been in the enclosure forever, and they won't die, so it doesn't have them yet. But, yeah. Kyle had me scared there. He was sniffing around like he had to go potty. But we will go out in a sec because we're about to wrap this up. So, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As you can see, I'm a little anal about my cable management. This really doesn't take that long to put together. And the good thing is, like, since these are all our products, there's a printer that we physically have here. You know, I've taken the time to qualify everything and set everything up. So all you guys got to do is basically install stuff, tell the firmware what you have, and flash the firmware, and you can use your printer. You know, you're not going to be having to hunt around or asking, you know, random people online for help. Everything just works. So that's the goal here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. We will be doing one more video where we put the 5015 fan on there, and then I'll do some test prints on that one. I can't really think of what else to put on here. We've got our filament sensor kit, so now we have a runout sensor on here, and that works with the stock board as well. The only thing shown in this video that will not work on the stock board is the EZNeo RGB lights. So, and that's because of Sovol's choice to be cheap asses and use a Gigadevice chip instead of a STM32. So, all of our boards that we sell, even the Creality boards, like we open all the Creality boxes and actually check the processors. Like we actually have to shine a light in through the anti-static, and we check to make sure they have actual genuine processors on them, because we have gotten some with knockoff processors. So if you buy a control board from us, whether it's our board or the Creality 427s, you will always get a genuine STM processor, so you don't have to worry about these weird issues with these clone chips. Buying from places like Amazon or eBay, or even the manufacturer, buying a Creality board or the Sovol boards, you have no idea what you're getting. At least, you know, we can say that if you buy from us, you will get what is advertised. You're not going to get some surprise like, ah, crap, I got another clone chip. So anyways, I see Dan saying now I need to do the plus version. I already have the plus version pre-ordered, and we'll be doing the same kind of stuff to the plus version. So yeah, but the dogs were relatively good. Do you guys think that they deserve a treat? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Do you guys think that the dogs deserve a treat? I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Remo's underneath my desk. Comet is right there being Comet. What? Do you guys want a treat? Do you guys want a snacky? Do you guys want a snacky? Yeah? Come here. Let's show everybody how freaking big you are now. Come here, you beast. Oh! Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? What? What? Yeah. Yeah. Remo doesn't like being held like this. He only tolerates it. Comet's like, yes. 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 What? Yeah? Do you guys want a snacky? You want a snacky? Yeah. We got little T-bone snackies for them. Oh, you guys know what this is, don't you? Can we sit? Sit. Good boy. Sit. Comet. Sit. Good boy. Speak. Woof. Give me a big one. Yeah. Good boy. Comet, you don't know speak yet, but you know shake. Good boy. Good boy. All right. That's enough treats for before bed, okay? So, Comet matches my beard. He does. Look at his face. He's just so... Oh, he's so big and cuddly. Yeah. Yeah, look at that face. He's a good boy. Yeah, it's nice having a dog that's cuddly. I don't know if you guys know this. German Shepherds are great dogs, but they're not very cuddly dogs. No, they're not. Only on their terms. But Goldens, you just pick them up and you give them belly scritches and you give them head rubs and they just love it. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Okay. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I got the printer all done, aside from the fan. But I do still like this machine. Even with the crappy board that comes in it, like with the knockoff processor, it's not terrible. I have my gripes. And if you guys want to see what my gripes are with them, watch the video we just posted earlier today about the Gigadevice clone CPUs. They're not terrible. There's worse things out there. But I hate this trend that they... started using these chips during all the silicon shortage. Well, now they're just being cheap and not putting genuine STM processors on there. So, yeah, but, I feel weird complaining about these things because stuff like this, we sell solutions to fix stuff like this and upgrade. But at the end of the day, I'm also still a consumer and I bought this machine, so I would like to see it come with better hardware, what is the word I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but like the internal battles I fight. But anyways, I do like this machine. I'm hoping Krista gets I'm when Krista gets some use out of it. She'll have something bigger. The Ender 2 Pro she has been great. But she's like outgrowing the build volume. So she's still going to keep that around downstairs. So she'll have that and this printer. But I kind of want to do this one up, fully loaded, give it all the bells and whistles, you know, so she's got a really nice machine to play with. So anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by in this late night stream. It is currently almost 2:40 right now. So AM, that is. So it's a late night, but I'm going to probably have one more beer, get my workstation cleaned up here, and then head to bed. So appreciate everybody who stops by. I hope you guys enjoyed something. And as always, happy printing. I will see you guys on the next one, which is probably going to be our Wednesday Ask Tim. So see you guys then.